Prologue. In 1722, a great hurricane struck the city of New Orleans, the largest slave-trading port in the South, destroying most of the city. Ships capsized or were thrown to splinters, sending the unfortunate to a watery grave. The dead were many, and the bodies were found for weeks, wedged in trees, buried in mud, under piles of debris dumped into swamps. For days after, bodies washed onto beaches and beckoned the living to them. The names of the people were lost to history, but the souls remained. In 1788, the Great New Orleans Fire raged and destroyed over 850 buildings on Good Friday. The poor areas, built of wood and thatched roofs, burned, and the dead were many. Piles of ash containing wood and bone were scooped together and thrown to the swamps, or plowed under the soft rotting soil. The wind moaned agony, and the agony coated the fragile things. Leaves of the mighty eucalyptus, once silent and soft, rattled like fragile bones. False voices called out in the night, begging eternal rest. The names of the people were lost to history, but the souls remained. In 1849, the Mississippi River breached a levee north of New Orleans. The city remained underwater from May until late June. Coffins and bones emerged from the low waterlogged soil and floated the streets, disturbing the living, but reminding the dead of what they once had. The remains were reburied without ceremony, sometimes stacked 3 bodies deep with a layer of rock on top to weigh them down. The bodies were mixed and lost to history, but the souls remained. The agony of the souls was cast upon the wind, and the wind became their voice. The sensitive people heard the moans of the dead late at night and in their dreams, and soon, in an effort to quiet them, spirit hunters emerged. The spirit hunters, through some ability cursed upon them by the stars, were able to hear the spirits and, in some cases, coax them back to a state of eternal sleep. But not all souls yearned to sleep. Some souls, once awakened, would never rest and wandered the streets moaning their vengeance. The spirit hunters learned through the years of powerful magic that, if used with discretion, could tame or trick the spirits and put them to rest. The risk to the spirit hunter was the wielding of the great and terrible power, for it changed their own soul every time it was used. To protect themselves from unnatural outcomes, the spirit hunters hid the magic and made it secret. Long years passed where the wandering souls were quiet, and the spirit hunters were all but forgotten. Then in 1963 a book was found wrapped in cloth, bound by twine, covered in burlap, tied with rope, in a hidden alcove behind a false wall in a den, crowded with bric-a-brac, in an ancient home on a dead-end street in the old section of New Orleans. The book was thought destroyed or lost to the ages. Some believed it never existed at all, or that it was not what was said of it. But that was their undoing. Obtaining a clear description of the book, to avoid it completely, was a fool's errand, as it was designed for deceit, hiding its true nature. Upon discovery of the book, a most unfortunate thing happened. Someone read from it. And the spirits moaned that the dead would be many.